everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I am going to completely pivot from what my plan was for the next couple of days of videos. I'm going to get back to it. I have far too many things to show you, and then Stampin' Up! Introduced, yesterday was the first, today's Groundhog Day. So happy Groundhog Day, February 2nd, and unfortunately, the little rascal did see his shadow. I don't believe him. I have high hopes that spring will come quicker than what he says. But Stampin' Up! Gave us a new list of options for you for your free celebration choices. So instead of doing what I was going to do, I'm going to fortunately, there are things that are already in the catalog or kind of easy for me to show you because I have some samples already done with them. So I'm going to kind of pivot, show you those, and then I'll go back to what I have so many things. That's what happens when you buy too many things and there's too many things to show you. And I also want to get the things for my upcoming online retreat that will be posted. I'm going to try to get at least, I'm not going to have the samples for you, but I often don't show, you don't see the stuff that we'll make anyways, but I am going to use the stamp sets soon. I'll try to get the information up for registration over the weekend, and then next week I'll start showing you, give you kind of an idea of the stamp sets that I will use. And as always with my online classes, if you have something similar, you already have the sets, you can just do the actual class and not add the add-on sets. So we'll get to that. And then I also need to work on the registration page for our Midwest demonstrator event, the 35 Ways to Celebrate Stampin' Up! So if you're a demonstrator and you live close enough that you can get to Indy in March, you'll want to come celebrate with us. So I have that. I have way too many things to do. So let's start. I have a bunch of stuff here, and then I have the cutest card, and it was kind of on my list. It just got shoved to the front because it became part of Saleabration. Who knew? So it moved it up. First, let's just do real quick, because it's the beginning of the month, my thank you gifts, which give you a great bang for your buck this month if you use my host code and then you add it with Saleabration. If you spend 50, at 50, you pick a celebration freebie from Stampin' Up! And you use my host code, then you're going to get the opaque adhesive back gems. They were on yesterday's card, so you can see them in action. And you also get my VIP video, the stuff to follow along to make that project with me. And then at 200, this is the cutest kit you'll ever see. There are a couple of kit options, and I'm going to show you one. I have it. But this is the Saying Thanks kit, and I will send you that at 200 along with this. And the way I do my thank you gifts, I don't send them out like next week. I'll send out the January gifts, but I give you the whole month to accumulate. So if you want to spend 50 now and then kind of wait and see if you want to spend more later, I add them all up at the end of the month. And then so you can build that up to the 200. This particular kit is great for needing quick things, but if you have somebody you want to give it to, as is this one here, and I'll show you that in a second. Then I want to remind you, you have till the 10th of the month, and I will get back to the Regency Park. That's one of the things that's gotten squished along. This is Card Club for February. I love this suite. So cute, so springy and colorful. Watch this video, learn all about my online card club. So much fun. And this month, because it's Saleabration, there's a bunch of fun things to add. And those of you in Card Club, you are getting an email just for you today as we navigate the new Saleabration offerings. Then for everybody who places an order with me through February 5th, that's $50 or more, you'll go into a drawing for the Scenic Garden. I have 3 that I'll be giving away. So everybody that places goes into that drawing. If you place an order for $300 or more, then you've automatically gotten one from Stampin' Up! But I have some extras, so I'll be raffling those off. So through February 5th, and I meant to say this yesterday and just escaped my mind because I had so many. If you go watch the Thistle video from yesterday, I go over a bunch of stuff that's new for the month. So let's look at some of the new things that you can choose from. This is one of the free with 50s, I think there's only one thing that's free with 100. Everything's free with 50. Now this, if you order today or over the weekend, you'll get it in plenty of time for Valentine's Day. And this would make great Valentine little favors. It's so super cute. If you have somebody that loves Tangled in your life, this little guy right here, I think he looks like Pascal. And this looks like other Disney little birds in here, but it makes little pillow boxes. As you can see, it comes with a block. So you're getting a free block, you're getting some free tear and tape, you're getting a free stamp pad, free stamps, and then all of the stuff to make these little treat boxes. If you don't want to make treat boxes, all you have to do is cut this part apart and then mount that on a card, and then you would have this instead. Obviously, I love kangaroos, but if you don't want this, save it for a gift. Give it to somebody who has children, give it to a child. It's so super easy that they could make them. They could use them for their birthday. They could use them for Valentine's. This is a fabulous, I think it's probably like a $20 item because it has the stamps and the ink pad. Free with 50. And make sure that if you are placing your order online that you're using the Saleabration item number, because those are different than just the regular. Now, some of this stuff obviously has retired things on it because when I made the samples, it's been a hot minute. This is the Hive 3D folder. If you have gotten the new B set out of the January mini catalog, yeah, it's January, I'm confused on the date, then you'll want to get this as a free choice because it makes that little beehive. So free with 50. Then this is one of my favorite ribbons. It's the frayed ribbon. Free with 50, but you get 2 spools of it. So again, it's close to a $20 price point. Here it is, just tied on this card here. When I pulled this out, I'm like, I don't even remember making that. But then when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make something similar to this today. So this is that really pretty paper. And then here, I love to deconstruct a ribbon. This is a card that we did in Card Club. And again, a similar concept to what I'm doing today. But this ribbon deconstructs beautifully. So obviously we've already used this ribbon in Card Club because this is a Card Club card. So that ribbon, 2 spools of that, free with 50. Then this is one of this I think was the first thing I used when this annual catalog came out. It is the Songbird Punch, free with 50. You can also get the tag punch. It punches the tag. I don't have it here to show you because you can all envision a tag punch. This paper, though, is very similar to what I'm using today, which is another free choice. But the punch, you can get the punch free and then just go get the stamp set. So here I've stamped it and then punched it out. You can also just use the punch and punch the images out. The eyes are part of the stamp set. This, A Little Bird Told Me, is in the stamps. And then like the branch and stuff and all that's in the stamps. Super cute stamp set, but right now you can buy the stamps and use this as the free part. And I think this punch is probably around $19. I didn't look. And then we have Eden's Garden, which came out a couple of years ago. So the stuff that I have made with it, and it was part of an online release. We have some fun online releases coming up. So the stuff that I've made with it, it's freezing in my house, and my rings, like I can move them all over to wrong fingers because it's so cold in here. So they keep spinning around. See, that's why I didn't want the groundhog to not see a shadow. This is the free with $100 purchase, and it's the Eden's Garden bundle. But because it's not a fresh bundle in the catalog, you have to look on both pages to see it. You get the stamps. It's a beautiful stamp set. It stamps so pretty. I was afraid I wasn't going to have the cards because I mail out cards. Like if you bought during my catalog kickoff, I send 10 cards to everybody that spent a certain amount. I send out cards and cards and cards and cards. In fact, I didn't think I was going to find those bird ones, but I did. So you get the stamps, and then you get these dies. The dies are beautiful. So here they are. Again, lots of retired stuff on here. But here is this beautiful frame. And this, you could redo this because this is just done with the gold leafing. And then here's this die here. The ribbon's retired. I think we still have the music, maybe. The back paper of this is retired. This paper here is retired, but you could get a similar look. And then this is just the gold foil. And then this one has retired paper, but it also has the stamps. And then this one right here, see how it does the border? So it cuts that border. The paper is retired. Beautiful stamps. That's up the stamps and the dies free with 100. That is a super deal. So that's that one. And then the one I'm going to use for you today is, I have so much stuff I couldn't fit it all on the table. It is the paper, and this is the one that was on my list. I love this bundle, and I know, I realize sometimes, okay, here's the thing, guys. If you stamp and you like to make all of this stuff for you, like you like to make birthday cards for you and thinking of you for you and I love you for you, then get all just stuff that you love. But if you make cards for people in your life, then you have to also get stuff that you want to make because they love it. So maybe you don't camp, or maybe you don't mountain climb, or maybe you don't mountain bike, but like I love to hike. I wouldn't call it my hobby, but we most certainly hike. And we used to camp a lot. You know, you get older and you can afford hotels. And so now I'd much rather stay in a hotel. My daughter camps, and she has fond memories of camping as a child. My niece hikes nearly every weekend, and that is her hobby. I worked at a bike shop, so obviously I have lots of people in my life who love to bike. But sometimes look at the sets and think of who you're going to give them to. And this set is fabulous for that. But then when you just take a look at this, and we're going to look at it, it can be a sympathy card. The stamps in it, it's very, very pretty. The paper is very, very, very pretty. And I know some of you just like flipped by it because you're like, oh, it's got a bicycle in it, or oh, it's got a tent in it. But sometimes you need those, and this is a very, very easy set to use. And the card is going to be really pretty. But this right here, like if you take away all of the tents and the bikes and you just look at this, it's a floral set. And I just dropped one of the dies because I have too much stuff on the table. So let's break it down. You've seen me use the twine. And if you were in Try It, I am going to show you one of the Try It class cards. Don't ask for how I did it because it was part of my class. And normally I don't show the classes. There were two different ways that we put it together in Try It. But here's the paper, and then here's the little hiker man. We're going to use him. And it's actually, it can be a girl. It's got some long hair, so either it's a guy with a hat on or it's a girl with her long hair. But the paper's really, really pretty. And it kind of, see, it has all these little landscapes on it. And we've had landscape paper before. I'll show you both of them. In lots of pretty tones. So it can be beach, it can be mountain, and then the flip side of it is just patterns. I really like this one. It has the night sky. So let's take, I don't know which stamp I dropped on the floor. I mean die. But if you just look at this, this is a really pretty flower scene, some grass, then the trees. This can be some, you could use this on Christmas tags. And then the moon. It has a fabulous graduation with graduation coming up. Really good for college, I think. Wishing you joy in this next adventure is what I'm going to use. You belong among the stars. We're in this together would be a good sympathy. I'm inspired by your courage. Could also be sympathy. This moment is the start of something great. Again, good for graduation and mountain of thanks. So we're going to use that. And then I want you to look at the dies, because this is where it really pulls in. You can use these for your 8-year-old grandson, your 15-year-old neighbor, guy or girl. And let's see which one I dropped. I think it looks like one that I'm going to use. I don't see the ones I'm using. So probably the one I'm using. It has this little thing here that will cut a landscape. It has the tent, and I am going to come back and use them. And then just the runner, the hiker, or the biker. Maybe I dropped all the ones I'm going to use. Hang on. Her. And I want you to see that as she's holding a lantern. So with the lantern, she's kind of a camper. We're going to make her be the hiker. So let's do the card. And I'll show you the paper, because the paper is what you can get free right now with Saleabration. I'm going to show you. I didn't realize, because I made the card, then I went over to pull out the stuff that I had that was previous, that I made previously. So here's the half of what I'm going to use, but I'll show you the other pieces. Isn't this pretty? It's just really pretty paper. And I mean, really, if you're doing a sympathy card and you like to keep them simple, you could just cut this 4 by 5 1/4 and stamp with sympathy on it. So So this may be most of the paper because I haven't used it since I did try it. And in try it class, I show everybody everything. This could easily be made into Christmas tags. Or if you do, I know a lot of times, like you do a Christmas card for, you know, your husband's boss or your boss, and you just want something that's simple that doesn't scream, I make cards. This would be perfect for that. I think this is the piece that I'm using. Here's all the offcuts from other projects. So I've already cut this piece. I took this piece and I cut it to make a 5.5 by 12 piece. So you can see it here. I'm going to use the other piece. So I cut that down and it was 5.5 and it left me this, which is now bigger than 5.5. So let's start with that. And then I have this piece left of what was done. Take this. This card will look different than my other one. So this will be 5.5 because I want this to be my card. Because you guys are getting tons of free paper right now. If you have gotten celebration paper and more celebration paper and more celebration paper, use your paper to make your cards. And here's a strip you can use. And you can see on that other one, I had a belly band. Save these for belly bands. Hold your cards closed. But make your card with this. It's going to need some stability, and I'll show you how to do that. And then because I don't like to put my arm up, because my desk right now already had stuff on both sides. If you could see both sides, I should take a picture and put it on my website of all of the stuff I'm working on. And then it just grew exponentially yesterday after they gave us this list. I'm going to put this at 4.25 because that's how big a card is right here. And then I'm going to use my light blade, which is my scoring blade. And you don't push too hard when it's designer series paper because you can poke through it. And then I'm going to fold that. This way I don't have to measure. And this will make it a standard card size. Put it right here. And then I'll have my cutting blade. And now I have card. This is a card size. And now I have this piece again. That was where I got that purple one from before. And then to make it be a little bit more sturdy, I have a piece of Coastal Cabana that I have cut 4 by 5.25, and I'll put that in there, and this now is going to be a nice sturdy card. Then on my other one, I used the new shimmer paper from the Fancy Flora suite. This is from Card Club, the Card Club suite, the Regency Park. The other one was purple because the other side of the paper was purple, but you could mix and match. This is the light blue. I'm going to take my little cutter because I'll have room on the desk for my giant one. We'll put this on here. Get our little camper girl, but she's going to be a hiker. And so instead of her lantern, we are going to give her a walking stick. Put this on here. And then we're going to give her a little moon. This card comes together so fast. I needed a so fast card. I needed it to be fast so I could tell you all that stuff and show you all the things at the beginning. You leave those there, and we'll take this and do a little bit of stamping on the inside. But once again, I had to kind of... Now I don't know where I moved everything because I had it sitting on top of all the things I just showed you. I have Shaded Spruce. We're just going to go one color, which Shaded Spruce wasn't really on the purple piece of my card. But see, when you open up, it matched the inside. And it does match this one a little bit better. Press this down. I have, let's start with our words. I have the wishing you something about adventure. Let me stamp it and then I can read it. Wishing you joy in your next adventure. Put that there. And then we have the trees. These would probably stamp a little bit better if you had your foam pad underneath them. But I have far too much stuff on my table to add a foam pad. It didn't do bad. And then we have some little tiny wildflowers. I'm ready for spring when all the wildflowers will start to appear. Just add those there, just creating a fun inside to our card because we needed it anyway. Get some sun in here. And then some stars. I guess that could be moon. I'm going to stamp them off so it kind of fades away. You can do this with a nice dark color like shaded spruce. And the sentiment that I chose also had those little stars on it. So they just kind of all mix. Super easy. Told you this card would be, we're almost done. Flip this open. I'm gonna fold it back the other way because sometimes designer series paper, to get it to fold better, it just does. I've done that. Now when we go back and do it this way, you want to be careful that you don't rip it, but this will kind of help it stay closed. Adhesive. Isn't that a pretty inside to a card? Then we'll add our little die cuts. I'm going to use, I didn't want to put string on this or ribbon. It does come with twine, this suite, but I didn't want it on here. I just wanted to kind of keep it simple. The inside of the card is pretty. This way, if you're giving it to a guy, it's more or less simple. But see, the card's still kind of bouncing up. So these are the embellishments that come with it. They have a little bit of weight to them, so they'll help hold the card down. I used the compass on the other one. You could use the trees. The fire is kind of, I would use it more with the tent. So let's go with the arrows on this one. I'm going to put it right here kind of as an enclosure that doesn't really do anything except add weight. Well, it's a little bit crooked, but see, that adds a little bit more to kind of keep it down. Now I'm going to take her lantern, and I don't need to poke this stuff out. So if you were to try it, and you know, we talked about how that pops off. Let's just pop that off. Use my fine tip glue. And then you can, great. I have more recording to do, and I have shaded spruce on my hand. Great way to start the day, huh? See, you could use the adhesive sheets and make these into stickers because these are some tiny things to get your adhesive on. You're not going to be doing it with seal. And I probably wouldn't do it with green glue either because that's just a thick glue. This works perfect. And then we'll just add our moon up here. And you can see it's kind of rolling up. So what I like to do is take my stamp pad, my stamp case, something, and just lay it on there just for a fraction of a second. I'll put my lid back on, and then I'll show you the other one, and by then this will have pressed it down. So this one's the green half. Remember the paper is two different colors, and we used this blue paper. Here is the purple shimmer. And this is a little bit different here. The inside is exactly the same. So here it is in the purple, with the purple. These, though, are so tiny that you can use any kind of scraps of cardstock. I mean, I got all three of those on that tiny little piece. So save your beautiful shimmery, rainbow, glimmery kind of pieces of paper. If you still have any of the black glimmer cardstock black shimmer that we've had in the past, and you have tiny little pieces, they would work really well on these cards. So, done. And you can save your little lanterns too if you want, because they're completely adorable. And if you cut your tent out later, you could hang it from the tent. There you go. And you can do your whole card out of it because the paper was free. Great time to stock up on all those papers. You can do the same thing with any of the papers that are currently in Saleabration, and if you have that dandy design paper where you get 48 sheets of paper, you can just be making full-size cards out of that all day long. In fact, in the Try It class, we did a couple where we used the whole 12 inches. Everybody have a great day, and I'm going to keep on stamping, but I have to get, now I'm going to post this, I'm going to stamp, I'm going to get the registration up for the event. So make sure you're on my email list. That's always the easiest way to keep up with everything that's going on. Have a great one. Bye.